The problem with the EX Chariot Tackle isn't the ridiculous startup. Oh, I mean it is, but it's not reaction time, it's not input lag. The problem is like the fact that he can just do it and it's safe. The problem is Urian's EX Tackle should probably be -2. Or have 0 conversions. You shouldn't be able to like do like a mirror from it at all. Stuff like that would make EX Tackle a lot more fair. Or it should just be slow. I definitely don't think EX Chariot Tackle is the most broken thing about Urian. I think it's about as good as fucking Balrog EX Dash Punch, which I do think is quite good. I mean, actually, I think Balrog EX Dash Punch is better because he's actually plus and has faster normals. But if it was me designing the game, designing Urian based on all the other characters, I would make Urian Chariot Tackle -2, EX Chariot Tackle. I would not have made that 0, especially not considering like Urian's a 4-frame character. I mean, it would be worse if Urian was a 3-frame character, but like, you know, it's dumb that some characters can just always preempt everything Urian can do, and then some characters have to trade. I feel like that's stupid. Headbutt -2 is because you can fucking duck it. That's something I don't really mind at all. It works exactly like it did in Third Strike. I don't really think it's broken. I don't even think it's that strong. You just have to whiff punish it. It's literally just like a Shototatsu. There's like no reason you shouldn't be crouching. Urian's only overhead is very reactable. I kind of like that whole meta of like Urian even being able to convince you to actually block high. That was a failed super. I think? I don't know. Running bear is a very unusual thing to do there. Super would have been very good. But like running bear is not the kind of thing you would do. Whoa. Am I about to fall off the internet? No, it's just the recording. The recording stopped. I think the way they used -2 and plus frames is pretty much perfect. Of all the complaints that you could have for Street Fighter V, and a lot of people could have a lot of complaints, I feel like the way they did safe, unsafe, and like the way they did momentum is quite good. The way they did turns. I know a lot of people hate the idea of taking turns in general, but at the same time you have to agree it's very fair. A lot of people just hate the idea of it being fair. This is going to be cool. He can juggle without, yeah, letting Q land. I think almost every person who complains about Street Fighter V is missing something that would make them realize it's not a problem. I feel like there are a lot of things wrong with SF5, but almost always when someone complains about SF5, it's like, well, there's a level you could be playing this that's like, that wouldn't even be an issue. A lot of the complaints I hear, it's just like, well, you know, if you were playing this matchup right, it would be okay. Laura definitely loses turns. If you think Laura doesn't lose turns, then like you don't know the matchup. Like, I know it's really easy to see like fucking all these recent Laura players doing really well in tournaments, but like every stay medium kick ends Laura's turn, every dash cancel ends Laura's turn, every light elbow ends Laura's turn. Every cancel of Fireball ends Laura's turn. I shouldn't say everyone, because there are certain very specific setups against very specific characters where the Fireball hits very late and also is hard to counterpoke. But Laura has a lot of fucking times where, like, Laura only keeps her turn if her shit works. And granted, she has, like, a good success rate because she's got a good mix-up. But, like, you need to be able to realize those moments where fucking her turn ends. Semi-medium kick is, like, pretty minus. Most of her normals that are plus, like, have a lot of pushback, like stand strong. Blocked overhead ends her turn. EX Fireball is the one thing that keeps her in and keeps her turn, but you can reaction punish that with a V-reverse, but it's still like one of her strongest tools because you get multiple mix-up attempts. And of course an unsuccessful command grab like Mega ends her turn. People used to say that about people still say that about Street Fighter 4. Every Street Fighter game is like that. I don't think it's good either, but every Street Fighter game is like it. Jump-ins are way better than anti-airs. That's a nice thing that anime games have, is you get full combo punishes on anti-airs. And NetherRealm games, actually. You don't really have jumps in, like, Tekken. I don't really know about that many other fighting games. But, like, KOF is even worse about this than Street Fighter is. The reward for an anti-air is very low. And the reward for a jump-in is very high. Which means you generally have to, like, watch for anti-airs, like, all the time. Nah, he had the right read. It's weird that he dropped that. That should have been fairly easy. Yeah, I figured because the combo system is very juggly in Tekken. I figured, you know, if you actually did get the anti-air, you get a ton of damage. Just do fucking, you know, juggle combo, juggle string, fucking slam string, whatever. But you know, I don't really ever see people jump in Tekken, but I don't watch a whole lot. That seems to not be a very jumpy game. Apart from perhaps Akuma. I think having super consistent anti-airs is a very good thing, and I think that if you actually, like, over the lifespan of every single SF game, like, the requests have been, like, give consistent anti-airs. So I don't know why that's still not a thing that they account for. I don't know why there's still characters who don't have, like, a clean, consistent anti-air. It's like you have Alex, who has, like, theoretically a pretty good anti-air in his low fierce, and theoretically a pretty good anti-air in his EX knee. But, like, every character, I feel, should have something fast and, like, not that rewarding and very consistent. Anti-air jab is actually right about what I would want. I feel like anti-air jab should be universal, not removed. Imagine if every character had, like, a 200 damage anti-air. No more jump. Maybe not 200. 200 would be a lot. Let's say 110. Imagine if every character had 110 damage anti-air. With 100% consistency. That could be done very quickly. Imagine everyone's low strong did 110 damage and knockdown. Maybe not low strong. Maybe like low strong canceled into something. Like low strong canceled to DP. And like imagine it juggled and imagine it did 110 damage. There you go. That would be perfect. You think they should just nerf damage in general? Because they could do that. Combos could just be made weaker. Characters could just, they could just make it so everyone has 1500 health. That was a nice throw. Throwing normally does absolutely nothing there. It only does something if they go for a parry, and most people don't try and parry. Although trying for a parry is like the correct way to do it. Brady is still not as consistent as I would like, and he's one of the more consistent characters. Or not the most consistent, but like he's got a perfect balance of consistency plus speed. Like you don't really need to do a motion for his anti-airs. The Yoki would be less straightforward if there was more wake-up options. So I feel like that's the next step. I feel like the more wake-up options would fix almost everything. Oro gets he gets an okay punish there if he blocks it, but getting a parry gives you a chicken combo punish. Oh, he dropped it! That was a smart thing to go for too. He went for the cross-up unblockable. Yeah, China's alright. I really like anime game anti-airs. That's one thing that I think is actually absolutely fantastic from anime games. I think it's cool as hell to be able to do like a towards light punch as your anti-air, and then like super jump cancel it and get like a combo. Like in Guilty Gear, like in Melty Blood, like in oh fuck, Nitro Plus. That is a super cool mechanic. Getting air juggles is fun, right? Super jump canceling is fun. I don't like stickers. I feel like that's not a huge deal. A lot of people are making a big fuss about that, but like at the end of the day, they only changed 4 characters. It is. I feel like it is a solution to a problem that didn't exist. Don't get me wrong. I actually agree with that. It's a nerf to strong characters that puts them on the same level as the rest of the cast. But also, it only affected 4 characters, and like the vast majority of matchups don't have any of those 4 characters. So it's just like, you know, it's not like a super huge deal. I feel like that's like a thing. Like it's a thing that's easy to have a strong opinion about, whether you think it mattered or didn't. Or not that. I feel like it's a thing that's easy to have a strong opinion about one way or the other. But I feel like it didn't matter, regardless of what your strong opinion is. I feel like it's not a huge issue. I think more of an attempt should be made to give every single character like a fucking reversal EX. It was Ryu, Ken, Nikali, and Kemi. Were the only characters with meterless reversals. It's an effective hype mechanic in matchups with those characters, which was not most matchups. Like you can even say, yeah, like yeah, I guess there are a lot of Ryus out there online. Aren't that many Ryus in tournament? A decent number of Kemis, I guess, but Kemis don't DP anyway. It's mostly Nikali and Ken who suffered from it. And even then, Ken got a really nice buff for his EXDPP trigger. I mean, that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and shit. But my opinion is that it's not a big deal. If only because it doesn't affect that much. And because it was a nerf to good characters that made them the same as every other character in the game. Reversal EX armor is frame 1 rather than frame 3. Yes. I think that would be better. I think that would be much better. Right now, armor is outright worse than invincibility. I feel like it should be, you know, not outright worse. In addition to being slower, it's also throwable. There's no reason it should be both of them. I don't care about guaranteed crush counters for reversals. I actually like that function. Different people are going to like different things. I don't think armor's hilariously bad, but it's like obviously worse. It's very obviously worse. There's no reason it should be as bad as it is, although I do think it's functional. The thing about third frame armor, okay, I understand third frame armor. I just don't like, you know, I think first frame armor would probably be better overall, but I understand. Third frame armor gets you out of almost every frame trap in the game. The only frame traps it doesn't get you out of are like bad frame traps. Frame traps with 2 frame window or less. But third frame armor gets you out of every frame trap, but doesn't get you out of wake up. I kind of like that. It's like the wake up situation is you've just got to take the piss. Like you already, because you lost that like scenario that made you like get knocked over, you just got to take the mix up. But in scenarios after the initial block, you suddenly got this scenario where you can like potentially reversal out. Passive V trigger. How do you mean? You mean like the timer V triggers or the non-timer V triggers? Passive V trigger. Reversals are a lot better than people give them credit for. Reversals are really good, to be honest. Reversals are like hideously underutilized. Reversals are kind of worth it just for the great damage they do. But the fact that they also steal a turn from your opponent, and the fact that they also punish certain things that are otherwise very difficult to punish. For example, Mika's charge dropkick. For example, cancels to Laura's EX Fireball or Ibuki's EX Kunai. That you get you out of so many bad situations that people just take every single time and like think that there isn't an escape. That's cool. That's a cool thing. Karin's Rekka's severe fast. A lot of people complain there's no reversal options and also never V reversal, and I just think that's ridiculous. I don't know, I feel like V reversal is pretty good in every matchup, especially if you're a character with a 2-bar V reversal. I mean, a 2-bar V trigger. I feel like you should probably spend 1 V reversal like every single round. Footage stopped again. Yep. Still playing, it's just frozen. They must have been having issues this week. Do I have enough time for another? I think so. Yeah, that's a pretty good example. V reversals are really good against a lot of Laura stuff. Of course, she has a command grab, so they're not crazy good, but they're still, like, nice. V reversals are ridiculously underrated right now, I think. I've been thinking V reversals were underrated for ages. People are starting to do them more, but I still feel like they're not doing them enough. I feel like the V reversals are generally better than V trigger. There, I said it. It depends on your character. But I feel like for a ton of characters, V trigger is just worse. It depends on your character and the opponent and the matchup and the V reverse, because not all V reversals are created equal. React and throw only works if it's like a light normal that's being V reversed. Laura's certain meaty setups like actually just get punished by the V reverse. Like she can't block in time. It hits before she can recover. Same with like electricity setups or shit like that. Same with dropkick punish. Same with Balrog, like dash punch resets. Like the V reverse will literally just punish the thing. You need to know what V reversals actually punish. That's like one of the things about being good with V reversals. Very nice. I also feel like not all V skills are created equal. I feel like a lot of the very minor problems of the game are balance related. Like certain V skills not being that good, certain V reversals not being that good, certain V triggers not being that good. It's like really that's an issue of balance, not the V system. What I really like about almost every single V trigger is that they're very footsie based. It's like, yeah, you can just use your V trigger in a combo. You can just only V trigger as Ryu, like after a sweep for the setup or after like crouch fierce for the combo. And you can get good success off of that. But like if you still do those things, but then situationally you just raw activate and then like look for charged Hadokens to like, you know, try and bait the jump or try and catch them like doing mistiming their anti-fireball stuff. Most every V trigger has some major footsie application in addition to just being a combo applicator. Laura's V trigger just raises her damage and makes her fireballs charge faster, and it gives them. Didn't we just see this? I swear that exact scenario happened a couple matches ago, or not a couple matches, but like a couple videos ago. What was I gonna say? I mean, Ryu lets him delay his fireballs. Was what I was just saying. Laura just changes her special moves, just get better basically. Her fireball charges faster. The EX fireball has an extra hit, which lets her get new juggles. The overhead's better. The dashes go a little further while still having the same speed, I think. That's the one that's probably the hardest to figure out what it actually changes. But it's not really bad. It's a pretty good V reversal. An overhaul might be appropriate, but like, I don't know. It does kind of just let her use her same tools more effectively. It makes like fireball and neutral a much better idea. It makes command grab much more rewarding and like overhead much more rewarding. It makes her combos a bit stronger. Remy's not a super rare character. It's easy to think because Remy's really low tier that he doesn't see much play. That being said, most of these Remys are the same guy. It's Baronian. I like how he just jumped there. Won the match, then jumped. You can do anything at the end of the round. You can't do special moves. You can do anything except special moves and supers. Yeah, in this game. Not technically, there's a couple random ones with supers. Like, Oro's booger does not use up his projectile, so he can have a bunch of boogers on the screen at once and still throw fireballs. Also, Oro's up EX projectile, for whatever reason, does not use up his projectile, which is probably a bug. So if you get an up EX projectile, you can throw another projectile, which surprises a lot of people. Anyway, certain supers break the rule. But the thing about Remy is that he does have the projectile limit, but he's got two different fireballs, and both of them have their own projectile limit. So he can't throw two high fireballs and he can't throw two low fireballs, but he can throw a high one then a low one. That's why you always see Remy's alternating. Ooh. Even then, you need really good charge buffering in order to actually have two fireballs on the screen at once. I mean, some characters do have better EXs than others, even despite the fact that all EX moves are better than all non-EX moves for the most part. There's still times when there's still characters with really, really good EXs like Balrog, and then characters with kind of mediocre EXs. Like, I don't know. I was gonna say Sim, but Sim's 1 EX is like super good. His 2 EXs. EX Fireball is pretty awesome. EX Flame is pretty awesome. Who's a character with actual bad EXs? They were like pretty good about that in Street Fighter 4. I mean 5. Ken's EXs are not crazy useful. EX DP is nice as a reversal. EX Tatsu is not really important. EX Fireball is not really important. I would say Ken's EXs are not a huge deal. Cammy doesn't really EX that much. She EX Hooligan sometimes, and EX Dive Kick sometimes. Oh, Ken does EX Dive Kick too, shit. Yeah, the EX moves are pretty good for the most part. There isn't really a character with terrible EX moves. Yeah, charge positioning wouldn't change that much because there's a whole lot of inherent charge in Street Fighter 5. Almost every charge character has inherent charge on, like, every important setup. It would only help a couple setups. Well. Which JoJo, the Dreamcast one? Dreamcast era one. I watched a little bit of that fighting game. It's interesting. It's like 3 Polar Fs, like 3 Kakyoins. It's like 2 Josephs. I mean, not Josephs. Well, I think there are 2 Josephs. There's like 2 Jotaros. There's like every villain. How do you just give me a bunch of characters and one of them is Whole Horse and expect me to play anyone but Whole Horse? I feel like Street Fighter 3 is an unusual game because there are characters with really, really, like, it's not, this game has a lot of failings. It's just the one thing it got right, it got very right. So that's a crouch jab. Oh fuck, there's 2 Whole Horses. Is one of them the Boingo Whole Horse? Oh, I don't know which one I want. Yeah, one of them's the Boingo and one of them's the Hanged Man. With your Hanged Man and my Emperor, we're unstoppable. I mean, the things that Third Strike got right, it got right on purpose. Let's not be cruel here. A lot of the character designs, like Oro, chicken combo was no accident. If you look at parries, parries are doing exactly what they're intended to do. Parries were designed with like all this shit in mind. As a wake-up option, as like a fucking red parry in the middle of like a super, like as like hard to parry setups or like setups that punish parries, stuff like that. That's not an accident. That's just a really fun mechanic. Designed with all that shit in mind. Air parries to preempt like anti-airs. There are plenty of accidents in Third Strike, but I don't think the things they made great are an accident. I think a lot of the accidents are like tier accidents. Oops, we made Chun-Li amazing. Ah, already hit a button. It's weird, when you do a super in this game, there's like a couple frames where the opponent can still do things, and then the super freeze happens. Well, they might have been planning to remove it, but also they added it on purpose before they removed it, and then also decided not to remove it. So I don't really consider that an accident. I mean, they did change air parries quite a lot between Street Fighter 3 versions. They started in, if you go back to New Generation and like use the air parries in that game, they're like totally different. There's actually two different kinds of air parries, and the momentum you get is a lot different. Like they made, from that game to Third Strike, they made it easier to punish a DP if you anti-air parried a DP. That's a far cry from actually removing it. He's going for this chip. You need to red parry here. Yeah, he could not block that. Whatever you went for it. Yeah, he did. Of all the grapplers, I think Geef is one of the least brain dead ones. I think Mika and Laura are much more brain dead. Mika and Laura are good examples of characters where it actually doesn't really matter that much what the opponent does. Or not as much as Geef. For Geef, it matters a lot what the opponent does. You have to get a big download on your opponent's tendencies because all of the ways that you can open the opponent up are pretty risky. Whereas it's never really a bad idea to hit stand strong as Mika. It's never really a bad idea to do a low forward into light elbow as Laura. Q Super 1 is, it actually has combos. Like if you get a dash punch, you can reaction combo the Super 1 even on, or I should say like you can do like, I don't know. It's invincible. It also has way better range, so it's like good for a punish. And also you have them a lot more often. That's a big deal. It's vaguely harder to parry too, I guess. Super 2 is also invincible, but Super 1 is, the invincibility is a lot more useful because of the way the hitbox works. Mika definitely has weaknesses. Mika definitely has to think about how she approaches, even now. Or especially now. Even back then. Same with Laura. It is not just a free approach. It's easy to think that it's a free approach when you play against those characters, but then if you actually play as Laura or Mika, it's like, damn, how do I actually get close to this Nash? How do I actually get close to this Guile? How do I actually get close to this Ryu? It's harder than it looks. I think Mika and Geef actually have a pretty similar amount of work to get in. Mika's are more awkward, Geef's are more traditional. But Geef's walk speed is still pretty low. And he still doesn't have great ways around fireballs. And he still can't really touch you if you're standing like a little ways out and crouching. Like he could tag you with a crouch jab or a stand short, or maybe a light SPD if you give him time. Stand Fierce is really slow though, and can get tagged with lows. Sturmanos is really slow and crouchable. And everyone can poke from that range. Of course, counter poking Geef varies in difficulty depending on which character you play. But you know, because Geef's approach is more traditional, I think there's a better general knowledge of how to keep him out than Mika. You have to fight a lot of Mikas to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to actually do to stop Mika from just getting in. You have to have actual like specific counter hit setups for your fucking drop kick. Or like no, you have to have like specific anti-airs that anti-air the normal jump or the fucking drop. Down medium punch. You have to have a good response. You have to recognize the ranges where Crouch Fierce is an option for her. Whereas if you're fighting Geef, it's just like, well, you know, as soon as he's in the range of my max range poke, I'll just hit my max range poke. Which will actually get you pretty far. I mean, that's not guaranteed. You might just get in the range of your max range poke and then parry. Or, you know, various other things. A lot of ways, scenarios that they can go. But I just feel like zoning Geef is more traditional and thus more well known. That being said, I do feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like Geef is easier to keep out than Mika. Mostly just because of the movement. Mika jumps really fast and she dashes really fast. Geef can't really dash in, and Geef he can jump in, but like it's got to be slow and careful. Charge Punch is really easy to deal with now. That's one of the biggest nerfs for her. If you block it, if you eat a Crouch Fierce, God help you. But if you block a Crouch Fierce, you can pretty much always do a light normal now. Even if she connects it like as far as she can. Like she literally needs to connect on the last frame in order for her 3-frame jab to beat you. To beat your reversal jab. Your reversal 4-frame attack. Nice. Oh, getting nicer. He didn't need to parry all of that. It was just for style, I guess. Consistency. Ooh, he actually... Did he just win? No, all these taunts. Q's still in a super good scenario. Alright, now he's dead. That was a really good comeback, even though it was a Chun-Li beating a Q, like I still feel like that was really good. He earned it. That's not a super hard parry, but it's like nice that he went for it. But it's not super hard. It was good that he got it. It was clutch. It was a very clutch moment. What is Q? He's possibly a robot man. He has appeared all over the world. All of his attacks are named such that someone is describing them. Nice juggle. Fun fact, if you pick Super 3, it actually juggles there. Which is like one of the only reasons to actually use Super 3. Chun-Li has like really cool little Super 3 setups, but you never see them because it's a really bad Super. And her Super 1 and Super 2 are both really good. It's actually not obvious why Chun-Li is broken, I feel. It looks really obvious when you've seen a lot of Chun play. But like, Chun reads very much like an accident for me. Because she's really bad at a lot of stuff that you would consider to be essential to this game. She's another good example of a character who gets almost no damage on a punish. She needs super to actually get meaningful damage in a game where punishes happen all the time because parry. Super 1 Chun is not super rare. It's definitely not as good as Super 2. It's situationally better in certain matchups, namely Hugo. Super 1 has a shorter meter, which means you have it, like, you know, you can get it really quickly. But that being said, you can only stock one of them, so you can't really sit on meter, which is unfortunate, which is the main reason people use Super 2. But Super 1 is just, like, very, very similar to Super 2, except a better anti-air and a shorter bar. So, like, overall, it's, like, about as... If Chun-Li Super 2 is, like, a 10 out of 10 super, which it is, Chun-Li Super 1 is, like, an 8 out of 10 super. Or, like, 7. 7 out of 10. It's still, like, a very good super. It's just Super 2's two bars is kind of a big deal. Super 2 also has nice punishing power. Super 1 does as well, but like Super 2 covers slightly greater range. But Super 1 is also extremely fast. They also have basically identical setups. You can actually do air down medium kick into stand roundhouse into Super 1. That actually works. You can do that to Super 3 as well. But it doesn't work into Super 2. Super 2 has no juggle, but Super 1 will juggle. Gane is probably the best or second best super in the game. The only one really competing with it is Mirror. Super 1 is... Chun-Li Super 1 is Kikosho. And her Super 3 is like a flip kick super. She like goes straight up and then comes straight down. It's like a giant Hazanshu. It is not uncommon for Chun-Li players to pick Super 1 against Hugo. That was a failed Kara. Yukara Stamina us into uppercut. Yuri in Super 1 is kind of useful for the invincibility and the quick startup and the fact that you can follow parries with it and stuff like that. Yuri in Super 1 is like a traditional super. Like Super 3 is obviously better, but like Super 1 is not really bad. Super 1 is like a 7 out of 10 super. 6 out of 10, I don't know. Yuri doesn't have a whole lot of confirm, so it's not great. But it lets him like kind of be normal. Super 2 has a very, very niche use against Akuma. Because Akuma can teleport out of mirror setups, and Super 2, Yuri in Super 2 does a lot of stun. So like theoretically you can kind of use it. But most people don't even know the Super 2 juggles, and it's generally not as good as Mirror anyway. So most people just pick Super 3 in like every matchup. Alex is a really good example of a character who sucks. Alex is a really good example of a character with no good super. Alex is one of the only characters in the whole game with no good super. Even like Sean has good supers. Aura and Urian are very similar. They have radically different execution to do very similar things. They're both very juggle based. They're both very poke slash like poke based. They both have like cross up unblockables. They have like and like long. Urian's like mirror corner pressure is a lot like stone corner pressure. Urian's mirror cross up unblockables are a lot like Booger cross up unblockables. They're like super similar characters. But like executionally they're nothing alike. Their tools couldn't be more different executionally. He raw activated a 5-stone. I respect that. Didn't do anything for him. You've got to do too much approaching. It's too easy for the opponent to run away and then just go be nutty, which is exactly what we just saw that Urian do. Horus and Urian's footsies are very similar. Oro, of course, has the jump. Horus jump is a billion times better than Urian's. But like grounded, they're very similar. It's just like, here are some kind of good pokes. Let me attack you from kind of far away with my kind of long normals. That's unblockable. Unfortunately, it doesn't like set anything up. Nice. That's hard combo for maximum style. Ooh, this should hurt. Oh, he didn't charge. Oh, that was a reversal stomp. I saw that. Good lord, this is bad. Thanatos, please. That can be a punish. He just missed it. Thanatos, why? He's a nut. I like that. I like that play. Ooh. Reversal sweep. He's actually in a good position. That should destroy the mirror. What the fuck? Use a fucking... Are you fucking kidding me, Thanatos? I don't know why the fuck you just did any of that. If a bunch of the stones hit the mirror, it dispels all the hits of the mirror. And then also the stones just attacked an active hitbox, so they have like the glitch. There's a glitch with the stones. If the stones get attacked, they get permanently active hitboxes. All Oro had to do there was just hit Stand Strong, and the Stand Strong would have hit the mirror and done nothing, and then all the stones would have hit the mirror and destroyed it, and then he would have been in an okay position. But like one Stand Short to interrupt anything Urian was doing was good, but Stand Strong would then have interrupted anything else Urian did, and also would have destroyed the mirror. That was like a total misplay. There was like no reason. That mirror was just like totally controlling his actions. He couldn't really push the really good mix-up. He couldn't get the really good pressure. Stand Strong is really good at destroying the mirror. And also a fairly good poke against Urian in general. Anti-air low forward. Ken, please. Very nice. Ooh, that was a headbutt, I think. Urian's headbutts are pretty great in this game, like especially against characters who can't duck them. Ken can duck them, so they're not super great against him. But see that dash in headbutt? That was like really good. Plus the mirror. The way he timed that mirror was right before the quick stand window. So Ken's early quick stand isn't going to work. And his late quick stand has a very small like window to execute. He's only got a couple frames to do it before he lands, because you can't. Inputs in third strike during the super freeze aren't accepted. My Lena is not great, but when Shrek fought it, it was new. But it's not great. If my Aura's like a, I don't know, I'm trying to use numbers. If my Aura is like an 8 out of 10 Aura, which it probably is, my Elena is like a 2 out of 10 Elena. And my Alex is like a 2 out of 10 Alex. And my Ryu is like a 2 out of 10 Ryu. And my Hugo is like a 2 out of 10 Hugo. And all my other characters are 1s. Wow. The reason they're Alex players at all is because those people would have the most success with Alex, even though Alex is bad. Sometimes a character just clicks with you. Oh, still got the quick stand. Failed to get the bounce. Nice parry. Oh no. Fireball, anti-air fireball is safe on parry. So Urium was then able to parry Makoto's anti-air. I don't think his crutch race was a punch though. It might have been. What? I don't know. It's very hard for me to make analyses on player skill if they're not as good as me, to be 100% honest. A lot of the time it'll just be me doing my stuff that just works. I like that setup. Oh no, I don't like it anymore. Like a lot of times someone will be like almost as good as me and be a punching bag, or like really bad and be a punching bag. You know what I mean? There's a point where it's just really difficult. Nice parry. That was the right play. It's a point where it's just really difficult to appraise someone's skill in this game. You guys are nuts. Dude, this is Fujiwara, isn't it? Shit, I recognize these characters. Fujiwara is the second best Dudley in the universe. Everyone pay attention, this guy's the best. He's already won. He won at character select. He won it like being born. He won it being Fujiwara. That was good awareness of when the mirror was going to fade away. Fortunately, dropped the combo. Wow, that shouldn't have worked. This time media, I think. That reminds me that I was playing Pokemon Moon today. I have a brown anime girl in that game. She's cute. Pokemon games have best Yuri. They just said legend Tai Legendo. Ties versus against, etc. They're saying both these players are fucking really, really famous players. Fujiwara and YSB. Oh my lord. Of course YSB gets matched against Fujiwara. Kokujin is generally regarded to be the best Dudley. Whether he's actually the best Dudley is slightly debatable. In fact, Fujiwara is actually a candidate for best Dudley, as you would expect. And there's a couple other Dudleys of note. But these guys have been doing it for like as long as Dudley's existed. He's actually doing really well. That reset's so dirty. Kind of telegraphs. And before either a Chun-Li or another Dudley. Mark my words. Honora, that's not too bad. Is this Thanatos? This is a good fucking tournament. Oh no, it's not. It's Tomie. YSB is good enough that he could literally beat anyone. Not that he literally will beat anyone, but just that he literally could. YSB is a sufficiently good player that he could take a round off literally any other third strike player. Or even a match. Even if that is an 8-2 against one of the best Dudleys, it's not enough. I'll take your sister, Max. If she's legal. A lot of these are just fine, but 3D needs to be 18 plus. Old school third strike players, do you wish still played? Let me think about that. Yeah, I don't see Crota that much anymore. I think Crota still plays, but like, you know, where is he? Genki is an extremely entertaining player to watch. I don't know. I really liked watching Pino AB7. Probably him. It's very hard to find footage of him these days. I think that was a failed SPD, but even then SPD wouldn't have killed. Nice combo. Any clap combos into down medium kick. Nice punish. Sin's trying to punish the jump back roundhouse. That was cool. Oh my lord, that does so much damage. That was hard. I don't know anything about Crota. I know he's an extremely eccentric person. I know he, quote, takes third strike very casually. Not that he doesn't try, he tries really hard at it. It's just that, like, he's got... Third strike is a... it's not that it's a minor part of his life, but, like, you know, he does a lot of totally unrelated stuff to third strike. No, that's still not what I'm trying to say. He doesn't play to win tournaments or anything like that. He's just an ascended arcade monkey. Arcade goblin. He doesn't even like play to attend weeklies or anything like that. That stun is a problem for Oro. Oh, there it is. I mean, everyone does it for fun. It's just that his version of fun is more scientific. It's more theoretical. He's looking for an upper threshold of, like, how the game can be deconstructed. Whereas most people are like, I want to beat so-and-so. I want to win so-and-so event. I want to have the satisfaction of winning. Crota's is more like, I want to have the satisfaction of, like, creating a scenario where the opponent can't do anything. Nice. Super cancels teleport. I kind of like the sound of phase and gags. It's got a nice little tonal. It's got a nice sound to it. Wow, that's so dirty. Do you see that? That had the exact arc of a jump that landed on the front. Very nice. The whiffed clap is too bait. It's to make the opponent think he like times a clap deliberately too early to make the opponent think he's just using it to time a meaty SPD, which makes them think they can wake up with a grab or a jump or something like that, rather than just blocking. And then the overhead is to hit a jump or a grab or something like that. It's a cute little setup. Hugo actually does similar things in Street Fighter 4. Mistimed. Hugo technically could have super through that, but it would have been nightmarishly hard. He could have parried a couple times and then super through, but that also would have been nightmarishly hard. Hugo Super 3 doesn't juggle super well, so he can't really, like a lot of these air fireballs, he can't really punish like that. You just kind of got to respect them. This is a bad matchup, and Match is very good at it. Match is like really good at it. Yeah, cross-up Tatsu is a nightmare. Ooh, good demon flip. Yep. Yep. There's like no way out of that. I like never really liked A2 to be honest. I think it's a dumb broken game. I think Alpha 3 is also kind of a dumb broken game. I don't watch much of either of them. This game is also dumb and broken. This game is smart and broken. Third Strike is a smart broken game. How's it already 11 o'clock? What the fuck? Akuma's health is quite shit in this game. It's the rough equivalent of like 750. Or like 800, somewhere in that territory. I'm pretty sure Akuma has somewhere in the territory of 950 health in this game, and Ryu, for comparison, has 1200. Second Impact is an extremely dumb and extremely broken game. Nice catch. That's such a weird thing to do for Ryu. An EX donkey kick chasing something down. That seems like it would only be good for catching that. Of course, Vanau's had to chase down who knows how many teleports. So it's not so weird that he would know that situational punish. It's kind of funny though. It's kind of funny to see him do that. Whew, my goodness, that was lucky. That was well played. Or I can chase down teleports with the X Stomp, and that's the kind of thing you don't normally do against a good opponent. He can also just chase them down with dashes. Akuma can't teleport out of that setup. It's a 2-block string. Akuma basically always gets stunned by Denjin too. Which is of course very nice. But now a good. Where's my exhibition? There it is. Too far in. There we go. Donkey kick is like a real kick. That's like the real name of that kind of kick. I mean it is the way a donkey kicks, kind of like turning your back on something, that the kind of angle. But like it's like a really old. Yeah, I'm gonna script Rising Up literally after this video. The next 3 minutes. I had a pretty boring day at work today. It wasn't awful, but my boss was there, like the person directly responsible for how much pay I get, who analyzes how much work I do. So I had to be kind of productive. Nice, that's gonna hit. Oh, it didn't hit! Why didn't it hit? I thought the DP would win. That super doesn't have any invincibility. The DP just lost the hitbox by the time Makoto came down. That's sad. Wow, that sucks for Ryu. That super has no invincibility at all. She just goes to the wall and comes down again. It must have been a light DP or something. I don't know. Fuck. Nice double DP. Matsuken is good. I think that's easier on Makoto than some characters. My job is exceedingly easy. I almost don't like how easy it is. However, I have gained a lot of handyman-based skills, which I kind of appreciate. Ken Kara's down medium kick or down hard kick. So the motion is towards, down towards, medium kick, light punch. And the medium kick to light punch is Akara. It's only a natural juggle on like 2 characters, and I don't think Makoto's one of them. She might be. I think it's a natural juggle on Q and off of certain normals on Elena. It works on nearly everyone with the Kara. Neat. Very neat. Getting neater. I think if he just super jumped, he would have been able to kill. That depends where